Edge rusher Jonathan Greenard is signing with the Minnesota Vikings on a 4-year deal worth $76 million, with $42 million guaranteed, according to his agents, Drew Rosenhaus. Jonathan Greenard represents one of the best pass rushers on the open market, and the Vikings are going to restock and get younger, while presumably allowing Danielle Hunter to then hit the open market and go get his big payday. For the Vikings, that represents one of the biggest splashes they could make this free agency period. They don't have an absolute ton of cap space, and they need to restock that defensive line if they're not going to pay Danielle Hunter. Greenard rushed the passer 174 times fewer than Hunter did last season, and yet only sacked the quarterback 4 fewer times. So he can definitely bring juice along that defensive line. He's now gone a couple of seasons with it generating a significant amount of pressure. If you look at his numbers on PFF.com, he had 53 total pressures last season. And then a couple of years ago, 2021, he had an 89.2 PFF pass rushing grade. So looked like a potential breakout player going forward. At just 26 years old, he's the right kind of age for this defensive line to build around. And he does give that Brian Flores defense someone to really go after. With around $32 million in cap space, the Minnesota Vikings do have a little bit of spending money this free agency, and they can probably go after a couple more players, but Greenard may represent the high watermark of the kind of investment they're going to make this free agency period. This Vikings defense under Brian Flores last season was spectacular given the talent that they have, the personnel, but that personnel does badly need to be upgraded, and Greenard may represent a step in the right direction. You look at the group, it's Greenard on that defensive line, and then a bunch of guys who are one-dimensional, run-stuffing type pass rushers, and not the kind of guys that are making impacts on the defensive front. The back end was really smoke and mirrors with those safeties, 3 safety looks across the board, very little impact play from cornerback, very little impact play from linebacker outside of undrafted rookie Ivan Pace Jr. But Greenard does represent a really nice first piece of business for the Minnesota Vikings as they enter a very difficult offseason, with the rest of that division looking to take big steps forward and leaving the Vikings at risk of being left behind.